guys, it's Tessa. I've got a couple of my favorite Waffle Flower products to play with today. I'm going to make a vellum inlaid die cutting card. First I'm going to die cut the flower circles inverted dies out of white cardstock and vellum. And this is going to go in the center of my card. I just want to kind of play with it here for a second and figure out the pattern I'm going to do. You can see these dies give you a lot of variety. There's quite a few shapes that are included in the package. And I'm just going to use, I wanted it to kind of go cardstock, vellum, cardstock, vellum, cardstock, vellum. So with that pattern in mind, I'm going to die cut the center vellum piece again so that I can inlay the white cardstock pieces I have set aside there. So I'm just lining it up how I like it. And I used the little, the things you cut off when you cut them apart. I used those, I lined them up again so that they'd all be perfect. This is my card front here, and I just used the largest size to cut a circle in the center. I really like the perforated outside edge. And now I'm going to go ahead and add a little adhesive to the inside of the card and put in a piece of acetate. And this is what I'm going to be gluing the vellum on. I wanted to make sure you could still see through the vellum. So acetate works perfectly for that. Alright, I'm just going to start layering in my die cut pieces now. And I'm just using my go-to dry adhesive for that. Now I can add my first vellum piece, and to adhere this I'm using a glue stick. And when you use the glue stick, if you spread out all the lumps and bumps, it should adhere pretty uniformly and you won't see the adhesive marks through it. Now comes the cardstock scalloped edge again. And another vellum layer. And finally the center. And I just love how this turned out. I like the way you can see through the windows, and I love the simple elegance of it. I decided to embellish it. I wanted a hint of gold, and that ended up not working. A hint of gold and coral were the colors I was going for. So I'm going to use this coral cardstock and the amazing die to cut out my word sentiment. And here I was just kind of trying to place where I was going to put that. So I rolled it out of my machine and kind of like where it's going. I decided I'm going to use a stamp from the In Every Way set to just finish off the sentiment. And I'm going to stamp it out on this little bit of white cardstock in the same coral as the cardstock, so they match. And I'll just trim around that super carefully so it has a nice even edge. And then I can go ahead and adhere these down. I'm going to use a little bit of this wet adhesive for the letters. And this always comes out a little fast. So I'm going to use a little bit of cardstock to kind of smear it around a little bit. Now I'll place it right above the rest of that sentiment. There. And then of course I got to get a little bit of the eye. And then I still want a sparkle of gold on there, so a few sequins I think is going to do the trick. Gotta figure out where I want them placed. That's always the hardest part with sequins. I love the look when you just kind of drop them over it and they land random and perfect. That's my favorite sort of look. But with this card, I don't know, I was trying to get it right. I didn't want to just drop them on there. All right, that looks good. I'm going to just keep it simple and leave it as is. You can still see through it. Here's a closer look at the card. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.